What did the new Chief of Defense Staff say to the presidency of Bola Ahmed Tinubu? That is Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede. What did he say to the presidency of Bola Ahmed Tinubu? 3 things. 1, provide adequate funding for the police to handle internal defense so that the military can handle issues of external security as the actual constitutional role of the army. So, the first thing, provide adequate funding for the police to be able to handle internal security and make the military fully available to handle external insecurity. That's 1. 2, provide adequate funding for the military to enable it prosecute the war against terrorism effectively. Provide adequate funding for the military to be able to effectively confront terrorist organizations. Provide adequate. That's the second thing said by the new Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede. Thirdly, prioritize local production of military equipment because importation of ammunition is not sustainable. So those are the 3 things Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede said to the presidency of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But that is partial truth. It is true what he has said, but it is partial truth. I will give you the bigger truth. 1, the magnitude of internal insecurity created by government policies and actions is beyond the police. That's the truth of the matter. The magnitude of insecurity, internal insecurity created by government policies and actions is beyond the police. You have to take it that the war against the Boko Haram Muslim community is not external. Well, of course, when you say war, it's military. But it's internal and is beyond the police. 2, and so the government must review its own policies and actions, fueling internal insecurity, including fratricidal war being waged against the so-called terrorist organization. We must not forget that terrorism was imposed on the Boko Haram Muslim community by government. herdsmen terrorism, with herdsmen carrying AK-47, started under the presidency of Muhammadu Buhari, as the war against the Boko Haram Muslim community started under the presidency of Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. President Olusegun Obasanjo ruled this country for 8 years, 1999 to 2007. Nothing of war, except the attack on the miscreants in Odi, which did not boomerang or last. It was a once and for all action. Yes, Odi village was leveled, but because Odi village was harboring the miscreants, and when government declared war against them, the wise people of Odi village relocated to their neighbors, leaving the miscreants to face the military. But outside of that, for 8 years, Obasanjo made us to know that Nigeria can exist peacefully. Yes. You know, in his first term, 1999 to 2003, you know what the Fulani Muslim imperialists started? Agitation for Sharia throughout Nigeria. Only God knows how Olusegun Obasanjo doused that tension. And now, when a Fulani Muslim imperialist got power, that was what he did with it. Imposed a jihadist war on Nigeria. So, without government reversing its policy of waging war on a community that was peaceful, herdsmen grazing in agrarian fields have always been militant, but not as larger than life as we experienced it 2015 till date, because their patron Muhammadu Buhari became the president. So unless government, and the policy of mass impoverization, fuel subsidy is gone, all other subsidies are gone, paying workers less than living wage, snuffing life out of Nigerians actually. Because Nigeria is now like, for whom is it well, for whom is it well? There is nobody for whom it is well. But of course it is well with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his family, together with his cronies in government. And now, the indication in the third instance, my third point, the indication of this request coming from the chief of the chief of defense staff, his request has indicated that the police is not well funded, the military is not well funded. Workers are complaining, and we are hearing this. But of course we know. But as I'm saying, equipping the police and the military will not solve the problem. If it would have since 2009 till date. That's the fact of the case. Since 2009 to 2025. If all these requests will solve the problem, it will have solved it. It will not. Government itself must review its policy of war and mass impoverization. That's the final solution to minimize insecurity. There's nothing external in this situation. when terrorism was imposed on a community that was not violent, it sought for help from similarly oppressed communities outside Nigeria. There's no doubt about that. But it is the thief within that invited the thief from without, to put it proverbially. So if you can take care, if you can settle the internal people, forget about the external. Nigeria was not under any terrorist influence or activity until terrorism was imposed on the Fulani on the Boko Haram Muslim community. Boko Haram existed peacefully under the presidency of Olusegun Obasanjo. But Fulani Muslim imperialists saying the Islam of the community is unorthodox. Why don't you leave that to God? Are you the owner of Islam? So when some of us say that this religion, Christianity and Islam, have nothing to do with God, but human beings using it to build their earthly kingdom, that's the fact. What has Nigeria got to do with whether somebody is Islam is orthodox or not? And also, when the Constitution prohibits state religion and allows freedom of religion and association. So, the truth has come out. The truth for which God knows how many military generals have been rusticated or eliminated, whatever. Truth is constant. It has come out. Neither the police nor the military is well funded. And because you have no priority, you cannot focus on production of ammunition in Nigeria. But who are you fighting? All these things are fratricida. So every time they say we eliminated hundreds of the terrorists, I say you are killing our brothers. They are our brothers. All these things product of misrule. And that has been effectively demonstrated by the 8 years presidency of Olusegun Obasanjo, 1999 to 2007. Go and check the records. Providentially, Obasanjo is still around. Obasanjo went after Goodluck Jonathan to stop the war. He didn't. He said he should use carrot and stick and not stick, which is military attacks on the community. Did Jonathan listen to him? Did Muhammadu Buhari listen to him? And so if you don't learn from experienced people like Obasanjo, from whom are you going to learn? He didn't take up arms against the community. Muhammadu, what is his name? Umaru Musa Yar'Adua did. Perpetuated for 4 years, brutal years, by Goodluck Jonathan. But it's in the newspapers now how Obasanjo was saying, stop this war. Use carrot and stick to stop it. It's not everything war. And it has come out in what this man said. Because truth is constant. You are not funding the police. You are not. But I'm saying that even when you fund these institutions, there will still be wahala. Unless you do religio, political, and economic justice. Forget about it. No justice, no peace. That is the issue. No justice, no peace. You are not doing economic justice. You are not doing religious justice. And you want peace. Where will you get it? Let America give you all its ammunition. You will still fail. That is my submission.